Hi, everybody. I'm Seth Holdren. We're here with Keith Wilkes with Wilkes Air Conditioning and Heating. Keith, how you doing today?
Doing great, Seth. How you doing?
It's a good day. It's a good day.
It
We're just
is.
going to go through and ask a few questions here. So, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your company?
Sure. As Seth said, my name is Keith Wilkes. I'm the Vice President of Wilkes Air Conditioning and Heating. Wilkes Air Conditioning and Heating was started by my uncle, actually, back in 1974. He started right out of high school, 18 years old, young, and fortunate that people trusted him with the repairs of their air conditioners and appliances. He actually started out as an appliance repair technician. Morphed into air conditioning when it became popular down here in San Antonio. So, um, man, I'm horrible.
No, that's great. I like to hear I like to hear the way people get started in the business. So that's always good. So, can you tell us a little bit about who is your typical customer and what kind of problems are you guys helping people solve on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, sure. Our typical customer is someone who lives in a single-family home. They have at least one central air conditioning system. They're looking for somebody that's not just going out to their house to fix a problem, but going out to educate them, to make them feel like they know exactly what's going on. They're not too into just get it fixed and get out of my hair. They want to actually have conversations, build a relationship. That's typically what we find with our customers, and that's what we look for. I mean, we enjoy the relationship. We're looking for long-term relationships. This is our livelihood. We enjoy servicing people's homes and helping them out. So the longer the relationship, the better it is for both of us.
Okay. Okay, so what areas do you serve? What cities and towns?
We serve San Antonio, the city of San Antonio, Bexar County, which San Antonio is in, and all surrounding counties. A lot of the communities we serve are New Braunfels, Schertz, Bernie, Spring Branch, Helotes, some areas of Medina County, which is out west, and Wilson County, Lavernia, and Seguin.
Okay. Awesome. So can you get a little bit more detailed about what kind of problems are you seeing on a day-to-day basis, and what are some typical things that seasonality and the changes of the seasons, that different things that people are calling you to help them solve?
Sure. Most people call us for what they think is a simple stuff, but a lot of times it's more in depth. It's like they try to call and say, "Hey, my unit outside stopped working. It's not the fan's not turning. What can I do?" And it's like, well, there's I don't know. I mean, there's so many little things that can happen in an air conditioning system that we have to send somebody out to take a look at it. But that's one of the main questions we get. My outside unit's not running. The heater right now, since we're in the middle of winter, it's blowing cool air, not warm air. We get a lot of thermostat questions. There's so many different types of thermostats. You can have programmable, non-programmable. You can have Wi-Fi. We have our energy company here in San Antonio, CPS Energy. They have their own thermostat that they install, and people get very confused about and wondering why is my unit turning off. Well, that's what it's designed to do, so they can save electricity on the grid. So a lot of questions like that. We get a lot of general comfort issues, like it's humid in the house. I have to put my thermostat down to 68 in the summertime to feel comfortable. When you have to do things like that, that it usually means there's another problem other than your air conditioner. There's something else making it impossible for your AC to do what it's designed to do. So we get a lot of problems like that too.
Okay, awesome. So we'll do this one or two more times, but just in case somebody has an issue right now, can you rattle off your phone number and how they can find you on the web real quick?
Sure, I'd love to. Our phone number here at the office is area code 210-534-9911. You could always find us on the internet anywhere, anytime. It's wilksair.com, and Wilkes is spelled Wilks, no E. That's a common mistake that people do when they type for our website. So it's WILKSAIR.com.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so can you talk a little bit about, you're in the industry with HVAC companies. Can you tell me a little bit about if I'm a homeowner, what are the things that I should look for in a service company?
Wow, that's a good question, Seth. Things that you should look for in a service company, I would say first are people. As soon as somebody answers the phone, you're going to get a feeling of, wow, those people really care about what's going
There's
on.
one right there.
Uh, yeah, there's one right there. I should have unplugged that before I got started talking to you.
It's okay.
um, but what you should look for somebody that cares, but people care. People make the difference.
Hmm.
There's thousands of companies, 500 I believe at least that are listed here in San Antonio, but thousands across the country, and everyone some has pretty much similar ways of doing things, but the people are all different, and that's something that we pride ourselves on, is trying to find good quality people that I feel comfortable sending to my grandma's house to fix her air conditioner. Don't have to worry about them. They're educated. They know what they're doing. Another thing is longevity. I mean, that you should look for a company that has been around for a little while. They've been able to withstand the changes of technology throughout the years. They've adapted. That shows that they're adaptable to what's coming in the future. A lot of companies come and go because they just don't keep up, and that's a very popular reason for failure. So my main thing would be people, longevity, and someone that you feel comfortable with,
Hmm.
and especially once you make that phone call, you'll know if that's
Yeah.
who you should be with.
Well, I love that answer, and I think that's kind of a
Fix
little
that
bit
problem.
rare in the industry. Yeah, that's fine. We like phone. We like the sound of the phone ringing around here.
Yeah, I do
So,
too.
but I really like that answer about people, because that is probably the most important thing. If you have good people, they can pretty much solve any problem, and that's really just crucial. And I've been
Oh
working
yeah.
with you guys for a little bit of time now, and I can tell that you guys, walk the walk on that. So kudos on that.
Well, thank you very much.
So let's talk about tips around the house. Is there anything a homeowner can do kind of to get more peace of mind about their comfort systems in their home? And maybe, there's a lot of talk about kind of protecting your investment, because there's some mistakes you can make, I know, in dealing with your air conditioning and heating system. So can you
Sure.
share some tips on that for us?
Sure. Number one tip, probably most obvious tip, would be make sure your filter's clean. Always change your filters. If you have filters in a grill, maybe that's in a wall or in a ceiling, you want to definitely make sure that you're taking care of those. Filters are great for removing dust, pollens, things in the air, but the real reason that they're there is to keep your unit clean. If your unit gets dirty, your unit can't do what it's supposed to do. It can't. It will not be able to remove heat as well. It will not be able to actually heat your house. It could overheat itself in the heating mode and cause major problems. So the filter is extremely important, and that's the number one thing a homeowner can do. On the air conditioning side, outdoor units are usually outside, backyard, side of the house. Number one thing people want to do is build something around it, cover it. Um, you don't want to do that. Those things need to breathe. They need to have air come in and air go out. You want to make sure bushes are trimmed, grass is trimmed, weed-eated. You don't ever want to put anything on top of it to cover it up. Uh, those are things that are very important, and a homeowner can do themselves. So grass and shrubbery outside, filter inside. Thermostats, I get asked all the time, what's the best temperature to keep my thermostat set at? And the answer to that is whatever temperature you're comfortable. Uh, you know, I mean, a lot of energy websites will say 78 is the best temperature in the summertime, but I mean, in my house, I'm not comfortable at 78. I keep it at 72. So, am I wrong or right? Neither. It's what's comfortable for me. So, and that's something that a homeowner really needs to focus on is you're living in your house. That's your castle. Be comfortable in your castle. Don't worry about what somebody else says you should do.
Right. Trust your own judgment. Good.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, you mentioned some issues about energy. That's a hot
Mhm.
topic right now. People are wanting to, conserve energy and conserve costs on their energy bills. So, do you have any tips there on what people can do to try to save some energy?
Well, you could have a programmable thermostat. That'll save energy. If you are leaving on a regular schedule, you go to work at 7 in the morning and get home at 5, whatever the case may be. If no one is at home while you're gone, there's no reason to heat or cool it as if you were there. So you can save some energy in that way. Um, Things that we can do to help you save energy would be look at your ductwork. That's something that gets lost in our industry big time. It's one of the um, most frustrating parts of our business is actually getting into an attic, digging through your dusty insulation, finding the cracks and leaks that are occurring in your ductwork. But that's where a lot of your money. I mean, just any air that's blowing out of the cracks of your duct might as well be dollar bills. I mean, because you are wasting energy. So from our end, making sure you have a properly sized duct system, making sure it's completely sealed, will make any air conditioner work more efficiently. Period. So that would be something that you would want to look at. We have your ducts looked at. Outside units, you want to keep them clean. If any debris, grass, dust, or whatever might be going on outside, if it gets all caught up into your condensing coil outside, it prohibits that unit from removing any heat. I mean, that's where all the heat from your house is being expelled to outside. So if air can't pass those coils, then it's going to be stuck in that refrigerant circuit, and their unit's going to work twice as hard to cool your house. So that's something you could do, is keep that clean. You can take a water hose, just wash straight down. If you want to do something on your own, never wash right toward it, because you could bend those fins. You never want to take apart a unit on your own. It seems like it might be easy, but if you can't get it back together, you're in real big trouble. So and it's dangerous, especially with electricity. So don't want to do that, but you can wash it yourself.
Okay,
so that's what I
great.
would say.
Do you have what offers do you have right now going on if somebody's kind of interested in this type of thing and wants to know what's involved with you guys coming and taking a look at their systems?
Okay, well, right now we have no diagnostic fees. So if you think you may be having a problem, just not heating well enough, not cooling well enough, you think, there might be something, but I don't want to pay somebody $69, $89 just to come out and tell me what's wrong. We're no charge. So we just want an opportunity to be able to look at your unit, meet you, give you an honest assessment of what's going on, and if you want to make any repairs that may be there, great. We'll be able to do them pretty much on the spot. If you don't, that's your choice too, so not a problem. I don't believe that you should pay somebody to tell you what's wrong with your unit. That's frustrating, especially if you don't feel like the service you got was worth anything. Now you're arguing with somebody because they want to charge you a lot of money for providing you really nothing. So that's something approach we're taking. Right now you can get an evaluation at no charge. New units, if you need a new system, we're running a $500 special right now. So if you have to have a replacement done, we're taking $500 off the regular price of installs until the end of winter time. So that's a good promotion that's going on right now and helpful for a lot of homeowners. And the last one we have is a no dust guarantee on a duct evaluation. Sounds kind of corny, but most dust in your house comes from the fact that you have duct leakage. And if we can go in and test your duct, find the areas that we need to fix and fix them, we'll reduce your dust in your house drastically. So that's something need a little bit more information on. We can talk about on a single case basis, but that's something that we're running with right now too.
Well, all that sounds really great, and putting myself in a position as a homeowner, I really like that. It feels like it just gives me a lot of peace of mind, and I think that's a great way to operate. So I like that. One thing that comes up a lot nowadays is the health of your indoor air.
Sure.
Just having a healthy environment inside your house, which has kind of been a little bit of a new development over the past few years in terms of more and more people, starting to think about that. Can you talk a little bit about issues you deal with there, and maybe some tips on that on
Sure.
indoor air quality?
Would love to. Yeah, the air in your home is usually 5 to 8 times more polluted than the air outside. Uh, Think, well, how can that be? I mean, all the junk outside. But once air gets into your house, it stays there. It doesn't go anywhere. So you're breathing stale, recycled air. Another problem that you have is that we have pressure imbalances in the way that homes are constructed. So if your house goes into what we call a negative pressure because your duct's leaking, because the wind's blowing or something outside and causing the pressure in your house to change, then air that leaves your house has to be replaced with air from outside your house. That usually comes from your attics, your wall space, your crawl space, everywhere you don't want air to come from, and that's what brings a lot of dust and dust mites, fiberglass fibers from your insulation. You name it, it comes in your house, and then it stays there. So sure, we see that all the time. We do a lot to help prevent that from happening. Mold and mildew down in San Antonio here is very prevalent. It affects people a lot, and so we have ways of doing air sanitation with ultraviolet lights. That's something that we do quite a bit of. There are many different types out there, so you got to be very careful which one you go with. Not every ultraviolet light's going to do what another one will do or what you really want it to do, so be sure you get the one that does what you want it to do. And filtering, I mean, like I said, I think earlier, filtering is very important. The number one purpose of a filter that you change, little 1-inch filters that you change in your grills, is to keep the unit clean, but we can upgrade that to a high efficient filter that actually does remove the mold spores, the dust mites, and things like that out of the air. So filters are very important and do a very good job of cleaning the air and making it more healthy for you to breathe.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about technology. There's a lot of new technology coming down the pike constantly in this field, and so what are you guys seeing that is useful, and what are you excited about technology-wise these days?
Well, what we're seeing right now is the demand for people to be able to get on their phone, adjust their thermostat when they're on the way home, and so their house is cool or warm when they get there. Extremely popular. We have that gets requested. Oh man, at least 2 or 3 times a week we get somebody calling in. They want a Wi-Fi stat. They want to be able to control it from their phone. So very, very popular feature in our industry now is that. What I get excited about is the new variable speed compressors that are coming out, inverter compressors. That sounds a little technical, but those are very high efficient units that are being developed. They're really new, but at the same time they've been around. The technology's been around for years overseas, and now it's finally coming over here, and we're very excited that we can offer units that give your home the exact amount of air conditioning it needs at that one given time, and that's just phenomenal. And we're very excited. We've put in about 20 of those last year. We hope to increase that this year, just because we're learning more about it and people are actually demanding it. So that's something that's really exciting for me. I think homeowners will be excited once we're able to really explain how it benefits them, and the fact that when it's 80 degrees outside, you don't need your full capacity of air conditioning. You need a fraction of that. So why not use a fraction of that? That uses less electricity. It gives you exactly what you need at that time, makes your house more comfortable. So that's super exciting.
Mm-hmm. Fun. Okay, good stuff. So, all right, let's shift a little bit. Let's talk a little bit before we're towards the end here. Let's talk about heat pumps. I know you guys deal with a lot of heat pumps, and you mentioned some maintenance tips earlier, but in terms of service and repair and operation of heat pumps, can you tell me a little bit about what you guys are seeing nowadays?
Yeah, I'd love to. Heat pump. A heat pump's where your outdoor condensing unit is your air conditioner and your heater. A lot of people don't realize that. When they are in an all-electric house, they have no gas to the house. That's typically what you're going to have for your heating source. So that unit outside is the AC and the heater. In the wintertime, we get the call a lot, and it's two calls we get. One, there's ice on my unit outside. Why is that? Two, my unit outside is smoking. Um, those are two very common calls we get, and that's because the way the heat pump works is it absorbs heat from the air outside and transfers it inside. So what that does is that makes that unit colder, so whenever you have a moist, cool day down closer to freezing, you're going to develop frost or ice on that outdoor unit until it defrosts itself. Once it defrosts itself, it steams, and there's your smoke. So that's something we see all the time. As for from a homeowner's perspective, one thing you could do is keep that area clean, like we've talked about. Make sure the bushes are trimmed, the grass is cut, those coils are clean. Make sure it's maintained, because it's not just your air conditioner. It doesn't just run in the summer. It will run all winter too. So the cleaner that is, the better it is for you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so you talked a little bit about your people, which I really like how you guys operate.
Yeah.
What do your techs do to protect the clients' homes and to make that process go more smoothly when you guys are there doing service work?
Sure. Protect the home. Your home is your castle, like I've said before, and I mean our number one job is to make sure that we don't do anything that's going to harm that. We protect the floors with shoe covers, little booties to protect your floor. When we do installs, I mean there's going to be drop cloths, plastic protective carpeting up staircases. I mean, you name it, whatever we can do to put something on a floor to protect that floor is what we're going to do. We move furniture out of the way to make sure that if we're working in a space, of course with your permission, we're going to move it out of the way and make sure that we don't risk getting anything on your stuff. Anybody that goes in your house, if they don't take some sort of precaution, they're really risking the integrity of your home by doing that. Mm-hmm. Another thing we do with the people that we talked about is we actually have a policy of no smoking, or during working hours. I can't tell the person not to smoke, but I can tell them whenever they're in our truck wearing our uniform not to, because I've been in that situation where I worked at places that you show up and the person you're with you can smell at the door before they answer it, and that's something that's uncomfortable. It makes a lot of people uncomfortable. So making sure that the appearance is kept up, no smoking, protect your home. Those are things that we do to try to make it more comfortable for you as a homeowner, and make you feel better about the experience that you're about to have fixing your AC.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. Okay, so you talked a little bit about pricing when you were talking about diagnostic fees and that type of thing.
Sure.
What should a homeowner look for in terms of fair pricing?
Fair pricing. That's a good question. Fair pricing, every company's priced differently. We chose to go with a flat rate pricing book now. Before we were hourly plus materials, but now we do flat rate because each repair is allotted a certain amount of time, and if I can give you this repair at this price, no matter if it takes me an hour or 2 hours, because something may happen, I may not be able to get that fan blade off, I may not be able to, a screw may strip out and something, and I have to redo it. I'm not going to charge you for those things. I'm going to give you just a flat, fair price that I can do that repair for, that any of our technicians can do the repair for, and then it's set, and then there's no, there's no milking the clock, if you will. That happens all the time. A technician will diagnose something. Oh, I don't have that part, when they probably do in their truck, but they go get it, come back. All that's billable time to you as a homeowner. We don't believe in doing that. It's flat rate. This is what it's going to be. And then with us, I mean, if you choose to do it, great. We want you to, but if you don't, then that's fine. Fair pricing. Fair is a fair pricing, I guess, in my opinion, would be something that when you're done and you feel like that person who was at your home, that company, they took care of you, they answered all your questions, they got your repair done in a timely manner, they showed up when they said they would, and you feel happy, then that means that whatever price they gave you was fair. Mm-hmm. For what they did. Mm-hmm. Some people charge very little for what they do, but they give you very little.
Yeah.
Others charge a whole lot, but don't give you enough. So, fair is a relative term, and I think it's all about that feeling you get whenever it's all over. Do you feel great about what happened? Yeah. Okay, then you got a fair price.
Right.
That's the way I feel about it.
Yeah, and you certainly don't want to be left wondering. So sometimes.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I shouldn't have paid him that much, or oh man, I can't believe they were that cheap. I wonder what happened.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I mean.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so in terms of if somebody's having a problem right now, again, if you want to rattle off your phone number for
Sure.
us one more time, and what in terms of timing and scheduling, what should a homeowner expect when they call you guys?
All right, and when they call us, they should expect a couple things. One, obviously somebody's going to answer the phone. During normal working hours, there will be a person. We don't go to a machine and then it picks up. You're going to get a scheduled time. We give 2-hour windows. 2-hour windows are there just in case something on a previous call takes a little longer than we anticipate. We want to be able to give you a time frame and give us a time frame to be able to make that work. You can usually get same-day service, and I say usually because workloads change based on demand, obviously, with temperatures and stuff. But right now, you can get same-day service all the way up until about 4 o'clock. After that, I can't guarantee same-day service, but definitely next day. So we'll do everything we can to get to you right away the next day. But generally, it's same-day service, 2-hour windows, and you're going to get a phone call 30 minutes before we show up. We're going to definitely let you know that we're on the way, so that you're not wasting your time or wondering what's going on. We're not the cable company. We'll be there between 8 and 5. We're going to narrow it down for you because we know your time's important. You want to plan your day, so we need to be sure that we honor that and get you taken care of as soon as possible.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'll give you a chance. If you have any other topics that you want to talk about here in this session, you can go ahead and
Sure.
do that here, and then go ahead and tell if I'm a homeowner and I want to give you guys a call right now, just mention your phone number and how to find you on the web one more time for us.
All right. I'd say, if you feel that your air conditioning and heating system just never did what you thought it should do, it's worth the no charge, service fee to have something looked at. I mean, even if there's nothing wrong, it's worth it for that peace of mind to say, you know what, okay, this is how my unit works, this is why it's working the way it is, and then you'll have a list of things that you can do or that we could do or somebody can do to make it better. So I would say, if you have any thoughts or concerns that maybe it's not working the way you want, all it costs you is a little bit of time. And I think that's something that you should take advantage of. Our office number, you can always get a hold of us at the office, 210-534-9911. And anytime online, it's impossible to not be able to schedule an appointment online with our website. So it's wilksair.com. It's www.wilksair.com.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Keith, and you've been great. And we'll until next time, we'll sign off for today. And have a great day. Thanks.
Sounds
Bye-bye.
great. Thanks.